As a state of many cultures and identities, America as a nation surely cannot avoid from many controversial issues related with people or the life of nation. And one of the issues stands on the thing named multilingualism. This term can be the representation of many issues, but the one which is very problematic and takes people attention is about language. Until term English only is established as the representation of one land, one language. Actually, this issue has been revealed since long time ago from many presidential era, but it became very strongly disclosed in Trump's presidential era, even from his beginning of the presidential election. Indeed, he ever chided Jeb Bush on one of the presidential debates for speaking language of Spanish.
We have a country where to assimilate, you have to speak English. And I think that where he was and the way it came out didn't sound right to me. We have to have assimilation. To have a country, we have to have assimilation. I'm not the first one to say this, Dana. We've had many people over the years, for many, many years, saying the same thing. This is a country where we speak English, not Spanish.
Since the beginning of Trump's presidential election after President Obama, English only has become one of his highlighted campaign of nation. In many of his campaigns, he proclaimed about assimilation, but he always stated about some cultures which are Spanish and Latinos. For instance, he always stated in her debate, "We love English, not Spanish." Thus, in the choosing place of Trump's campaign, he didn't want to choose region where the majority is Hispanics or Spanish. It seems like he is very discriminate against them. In a more problematic, in 2015, through his campaign, Trump kicked off his bid of presidency by calling Mexicans as rapists and criminals.
They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
This statement should be one of the strong reasons for Latinos and Spanish-speaking, even for the un-Americans, for not elect Trump, based on his discriminative and racist statement. But unexpectedly and surprisingly, Trump won the election. The opposite condition happens in nowadays Trump's presidential era. If in the previous presidential election he was in the place which is very opposite for the Latinos and Hispanics, during the second presidential election for him, now he's trying to approach them.
And another great friend of mine, somebody that was on, but I'll tell you what, there is nobody that loves this country more or Hispanic more. What do you like more, the country or the Hispanics? He says the country, I don't know. I may have to go for the Hispanics.
So, if we look at Trump's response in the beginning of the election compared with the nowadays reaction towards Latinos or Hispanics, we will then argue that question whether Trump's English-only policy is used for the better future of America or whether it is just for his self-importance. In this case, to get more voters in the upcoming presidential election.